On my conference this morning, I mentioned that our post-game thoughts were the same as we discussed in Columbia. Our backs played really well. Our defense gave up some yards but forced turnovers. Offensive line played good. Quarterback really threw the ball well. Special teams was okay. We still need to improve in our punt return, but overall our coverage units were good. With the exception of one play where we didn't have a good punt. We had a line drive punt that put us in a difficult situation. On an injury update, there's really not anything to talk about other than Hubert's the only guy that we don't expect to be with us on Saturday. The other players are improving, even the ones that didn't play in the game. And they'll reevaluate Justin tomorrow morning. It was unfortunate that we lost Hubert. I mentioned after the game, he's really come a long ways as not only a football player but a person, and hate to see a young man in his senior season not be able to finish. And it's a tough loss for us. He plays extremely hard. He blocks really well. He's caught the football, made big plays for us in man coverage. So I was disappointed that we lost Hubert, not for the team but for himself and for what he's brought to the table. We have a great challenge this week, like every week. Baylor's very, very good on offense, and quarterback deserves all the recognition that he's getting across the country. They got a couple wideouts, and one in particular that's making a number of plays that everybody knows about it. I'm not telling anything you don't know. So, our focus will be good practices for the next 3 days and try to maintain a high level of energy and perform at a high level on Saturday. I think that's what most coaches, I know with our coaching staff, that's a discussion that takes place more so than X's and O's. So we'll proceed and move forward from this point.
Coach, what's the biggest challenge with Robert Griffin III, defending him as a passer or as a runner?
A runner. I mean a passer. He has not run the ball very much. He can, but if you look at his career, he's gotten away from that because he's become such a good thrower.
How much better is his passing game now, Mike, than what it's been the last couple of years?
I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. When you can perform in as many games as he has, it speaks for itself. His quarterback rating and his completion percentage, and he went up through 5 weeks where he had more touchdown passes than incompletions. I think that number's correct. So his numbers speak for themselves. Is he a junior or a senior?
He's a junior.
Good thing Cam Newton's doing good.
Mike, you know this from your, Mike, you know this from your playing days right here. You had Hartley as a go-to guy. Brandon has Justin as a go-to guy. Kendall Wright, you mentioned earlier, has kind of developed into that now. How much difference does that make for a quarterback when he's got that one guy who kind of rises above everybody?
Well, I can speak for myself. You always feel comfortable when you have a player there you know that you can go to in a crucial situation. And then in a normal down and distance situation, you have a player that you feel like that can make a big play. And I don't think there's any question that he relies on Kendall. And, we looked at Kendall and evaluated him coming out. And we go back and look at our recruiting notes, and we were afraid that he was going to be as good as what we thought. We just didn't have room at that particular time. Wish we would have. Not that we'd have got him, but it turned out to be a very good player.
No disrespect to any of the other teams you've played, but is the Griffin-Wright combo one of the best wide receiver quarterback combos you've played this season?
Yes.
Mike, you guys probably handled Griffin as well as anybody last year. What was it that made you guys so effective?
Not sure. Our guys played hard, ran to the football, and they're going to make some plays. You don't take a team that's had that much success on offense, a quarterback that's had that much success, and skill players that have had that much success, and all of a sudden them not make plays. So I think you got to play hard, you got to run to the ball, and you had to make more plays than they do.
Mike, with all the
added attention OSU is getting these days. Obviously, you're number 3 now. You're getting the attention locally, nationally as well. How do you keep the kids' heads on straight, kind of keep the pressure off of them on a daily basis, especially kind of going into a game like this against Baylor where, you don't want to overlook them, kind of like what happened in Norman this weekend?
Well, we're not going to play under pressure. We're not going to coach under pressure. We want the players to enjoy the experience they're going through. There's way too much pressure in college football now, and so I want them to put that to the side. I want them to not have any regrets on what they do Sunday through Thursday, and then not have any regrets on their attitude and the effort that they give the team on Saturday. And they understand that. And so hopefully that's been instilled in them for enough weeks now that they'll go out and practice and have fun and go play on Saturdays.
So you won't make a special mention or anything to that this week? It was just kind of what you built up through the weeks up to this point?
Yeah, and I'm not a big Newt Rockney guy, or I don't give those speeches. That's just not my style, and so I don't know what I could say that they would really care. But myself and our staff will make sure that we have good practices during the week to put themselves in position to play well on Saturday.
You've kind of mastered the hard part by figuring out how to win on the road. Most of the losses you've had the last 3 years have been out here. Is there any concern ever that you have a tiny bit of letdown, or you relax just a tiny bit when you're here, and it makes you more vulnerable?
It shouldn't. I don't have an answer for that question either, but they should go out and play every Saturday, home or away, because you only get 13 opportunities, and they train 365 days a year for it. So I believe they feel that way, and they'll go compete. I still fall back on, for a couple years or 3 or 4 years now, that as I watched college football develop, I felt like parity would move its way across the country with the skilled athletes and the style of offenses and quarterbacks that can run and throw. And so you're going to see more teams lose than you would in the past. That's going to be the future. 3 years from now, we'll be talking about that. They'll be saying, why are there so many 7-5 and 8-4s? It's because everybody's better compared to the 10-2s and 11-1s. There won't be as many of them in the future. And so you would like to think that you can keep them playing on a high level to try to avoid a letdown.
So since you bowled in the stadium, how would you rate your home field advantage?
Excellent.
Compared to most that you encounter?
Excellent. If you just talk to the coaches from the other teams that we play against, or a better comparison would be to talk to a coach that used to coach on another school that played against us here before we enclose that end zone. They can give you a much better perspective on the difference in playing here now compared to what would be 5 or 6 years ago.
Does it speak to Brandon's maturity? I didn't see him. I think he ever got flustered when he those 6 or 7 straight drops. I mean, or is it his character? You see NFL quarterbacks slap their helmet. He just seemed to roll with it.
And the point you bring up has already been discussed with our team over the last couple of weeks, where you see NFL quarterbacks doing that. I've never been in an NFL game, so I can't really comment on how those players feel toward each other. But when I'm watching the game, in our open week, I watch some NFL teams. And then if I watch other college teams, I know that it's counterproductive. It doesn't do any good. And we're fortunate that Brandon's 28 years old and understands the importance of, if there was a mistake made in protection, or if there was a drop pass or something on defense for that matter that he or any other player wasn't happy with, a strong show of support is going to benefit the team much more than anger or disgust or being disgusted. And so we talk a lot about body language around here. And if you make a mistake, everybody knows you made a mistake. You don't have to bang your helmet, or you don't have to draw attention to yourself to let somebody know you're mad that you made a mistake or another teammate made a mistake. Everybody knows it. Just like if you make a good play, you don't have to draw attention to yourself because everybody knows you made a good play. And so that's the approach that I would like our team to have.